Do you ever get stuck and feel like your creativity just isn't there? In this week's video, I'll show you a free jazz improv generator that's guaranteed to give you something different to play. Hi, my name is Jason Klobnak and I'm a jazz trumpeter from Denver, Colorado that helps musicians find a better way to improvise. If you're looking for a quick jazz improv tip that will help your soloing, then you've come to the right place. Don't let the title of this video fool you. If you're thinking improv generator must mean this guy's talking about some app or a computer program that spits out lame solos for you, I want to put your mind at ease that this isn't what I'm going to show you. Have you ever had days where it feels like you're just playing the same stuff over and over? I know, because I've been there. The usual advice, which is still great by the way, is to transcribe someone or their solo that inspires you. Another piece of great advice is to do some free improvisation. That's where you have no chord changes to work through, no accompaniment, and just play whatever comes out. That can be beneficial, but if you're still relatively new to improvising, that can feel more awkward and leads to frustration before sparking creativity. So, is there something in between? I have something that I occasionally use that might help. This is my version of a jazz improv generator. Okay, I can feel you rolling your eyes at me already, but let me explain. It's not formulaic, but it does use a little bit of computer generation so you don't end up using the same ideas over and over. So here's how it works. Open up your phone or computer, open a browser window, and go to Google and type in the words random number generator. My college students are probably groaning right now because I use it all the time to have volunteers come to the board to work out a theory problem to help show that I'm not picking on anyone. But anywho, take whatever song or chord progression that you might be working on and pick a tool that you want to use to get to your target. For the purpose of showing how I use this, let's take a simple tool like the Pentatonic Scale. How many notes are in the Pentatonic Scale? Well, 5, because the word pentatonic. But I'm going to use 6 for the generator, so I have octaves of the root. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a numeric value. So number 1 equals the root, 2 equals the second, 3 equals the third, 4 equals the fifth because the pentatonic scale skips the fourth. The fifth equals the sixth, and the sixth equals the root up an octave. This gives us values for the note choices. Now I need to decide how many notes I'd like this generated line to be. Remember though, I want to target a specific note, so that needs to be included in our total. You could expand the generator to have it pick out how many notes you want the line to have. It's totally up to you, but remember we want this to help spark your creativity, not feed you every decision. Today's video is using a swing example, and I really like having lines start on the end of 1 or the end of 3. And we mentioned in a previous video in this series how the ear hears targets on the end of 4 more so than beat 1. So if this line still has 8th notes, we're either going to have a total of 3 notes if the line starts on the end of 3, or a total of 7 notes if the line starts on the end of 1. It's probably a lot to digest, but I'll give you an example of both in this video. Let's use the progression to Star Eyes. I'm going to pick a target for the 3-note example first. Let's use the G as our target in measure 3, and we will be using the E-flat major pentatonic scale. And the 7-note example, we'll use the A as our target on the F major 7 in measure 7. And we'll use the F major pentatonic scale as the key area as it's shifted for those few measures. Now, let's jump over and use the generator right now. So I have opened up a web browser on my computer and just went to Google and typed in random number generator. And you could go to any one of these different websites that are down below, but there's a random generator right on the home page of Google. You can do the same thing on mobile. So what I wanted to do was the 3-note choice first and the 7-note choice second for our example. But I only need to pick 2 notes because the 3rd note in that line is our target, And on the second example, I only need to pick 6 notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the random number generator separate everything out. So remember, we're doing a pentatonic scale. We're going to have numbers 1 through 6, with 1 being the root and 6 being the root an octave higher. So the first note in this 3-note line that we are going to pick is going to be the root. So we're going to start on the root. And our first example was in concert E flat. So that means that we are going to use E flat as our first note. And then our second note, random number generator says that we're going to do note number 2, which is going to give us an F. And let's go ahead and skip over, because we already know what that final note is going to be on the 3-note. We're just going to go up to the G, so we have a little scalar walk-up. Probably not the greatest idea in the world, but it's random generated. I could run this again to see what happens, but let's go over to our 7-note option. And remember, we are going over to the F major pentatonic scale, and our 7th note, the end of our line, our target, is going to be that concert A. So first note in our line is going to be 3, and in the F major pentatonic scale means that we're starting on the A. So hopefully that's easy for us to memorize, because our target is going to be our first note. All right, so next one has it as number 2. So in the F major pentatonic scale, that is a G. 3rd note has us going to the root, down to the F. Our 4th note has us doing a 2 again, so that's also a G. Next note has the 3, which again is the concert A. Let's see, we are on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th note. Last note is going to take us to the 5, which in this case is the 6th scale degree, which is a D, and then we will resolve on the A. So let's work this out and see what happens. We're going to take these 2 ideas and use them over Star Eyes. If I like the ideas, and I'll admit the first one wasn't super creative because the generator just gave us the first 3 notes of the scale, but I'll try and work them in again throughout the progression where they make sense. If I don't like them, that's okay. I can try and run the generator again and see what pops out. Our minds have a great way of absorbing the things we like and discarding those we don't when it comes to music. If you do like it, your brain will start saying, ooh, this is cool. What if I did this? So let's see what happens. You tell me, how did that turn out? Did you like what the generator came up with? Did you try it over the video? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the lines the generator came up with. If you didn't like them, try the generator idea again and see what happens. Then let us know. You can expand the generator into all sorts of combinations, scales, exercises, even use it for creating chord progressions. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has added value or benefit to your playing in some way. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell that's right next to it that lets you know when another video comes out. And if you know any other musician that might find this useful, you can share it with them too. Until then, my name is Jason Klobnak, and I'll see you on the next one.